Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video where today we will be making some custom minifigures. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get straight into it, and let's not waste any time. So, to start off, sorry, I'm on my bed, so anyway, I think we'll save the best for last. So let's start with like a basic generic one. So start with this one. Okay. Now the legs of this custom minifigure are some plain black legs, but the right leg, which is that one right there that I'm tapping, that is from a 2012 Avengers Hawkeye minifigure. The torso, arms, and hands of this minifigure come from I think this was like 2012, 2013, maybe even 2015. But this is like the DC suit, or this was the superheroes line for Lego, and it was their DC. So this was the gray, yellow, and black Batman torso, with, of course, light gray arms to match the torso and some black hands attached to those arms. So let's put this together real quick. Good. Now for the cape, it's basically just a generic Batman cape, which you could get on any minifigure, really. Yeah, so let's put it on the minifigure. Alright, there we go. Cape's on. And now for the head. Hold on, let me turn it. Anyway, the head comes from the, I think it's the first Lego CMF series blind boxes. No, the first one came at, I'm forgetting. Anyway, if I figure it out, I'll pop it up on screen. But yeah, it's from the Hawkeye from, I believe, 2024, if I'm not mistaken. And then we've got the new Batman Kewl from the 2024 to 2025 line of Batman sets. So, if I can, it's really hard to like one-hand this, but yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't even get it on there the right way. Hold on. Movie magic time. And there is the finished custom. And, yeah. That's it for this custom, but we do have an accessory for him, and I will show you how to build that, right now, actually. You're not supposed to see the... Anyway, let's prop up my phone. Grab my accessory piece to show y'all what to build. Okay. Okay, so for the first two pieces of this accessory, basically it would be it consists of 6 different pieces. Sorry, I had to count there for a second. But for the first 2 pieces, like I said, you're just gonna grab a white stud shooter and grab a trans clear orange stud and pop it onto the back. For the front of the stud shooter, you're gonna grab a chain piece that's about that long, and of course it does have a stud on the other end. You're gonna grab a black skeleton arm. I believe this comes in a lot of different sets, but I got mine from the Surtur versus Thor set, from the newer line of Thor Ragnarok sets. I think that's the only one they did, sadly. Anyway, you're gonna grab this grappling hook piece and pop it on, center it just how you want it, and there you have it. There is Batman's grappling gun, or grapple gun, I guess. I don't know what you call it anyway. I think it's I don't know. Whatever the heck it's called. Now you can put it in Batman's hand. And, yeah, that's basically it for this custom. And for the next custom, it only makes sense to do one of Batman's greatest villains. But this is a different version of the same villain. But this villain is portrayed by a different character from the comics. And this character has more, I don't know how to say it, but I think it's like a more specific name. And it really ties in to one of the storylines in the comics, as well as the character that I'm going to mention, his villain origin story. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into the next custom. So, for this custom, you will need the hip piece from the Batman 2024 figure. The legs themselves are from Mateo from Lego Dreams. This is kind of weird because I'm using another piece from from a theme that got retired. But yeah, I'm using the torso from the Jack. I think it's a casual Jack minifigure from Lego Inside, with some one white arm and one white printed arm. I've tried to erase the print to give it more of a weathered look. But anyway, that's that. There's also some red hands attached. Pop the torso onto the legs. Now for the head. This reveals the entire character. And the hair, I guess, but for the head, you will grab it from the 2012 Joker and pop it onto the minifigure torso. This is what it's looking like so far. And for the hair, you're going to grab it from the Lego Batman movie Joker. You could get it in the blind bags from both Series 1 and Series 2, or you could, hold on, I'm gonna scratch. Or you could get it from, the, actual Lego Batman movie sets. Those have since then retired, so, kinda crazy. But anyway, for his accessories, you're gonna grab I think it's a 2x4 tile, with a print on it, and it's supposed to be a cell phone. Pop that into his left hand. And then for the other accessory, you're gonna grab a gray Lego hose piece, grab a light gray stud with hole in it that matches up with the hose piece, and then pop on a Lego not axle. What are these called? I don't remember. I think it's like a Lego nut thing. Paws. Anyway. Yeah, and then put that onto the the same end. And that's how you make a pistol. I think it's a double barrel pistol, yeah. So, that's how you make a double barrel pistol. And yeah, that is it. The name of this character, I actually made it up, because if you've read the comics before, there is a comic storyline where Tim Drake becomes the Joker for a while, and he basically becomes the Joker's son. And spoiler alert, he ends up killing the actual Joker, and they return him back to normal, but he was forever traumatized. Anyway, I kind of took that idea and I flipped it sideways and then onto its head. So basically, this is like a what if for DC. I said, what if Red Hood, or Jason Todd's version, got Jokerized by the laughing gas that Joker releases from his little flower pen, and he became the Red Joke. That's the character's name, the Red Joke. Anyway, now for our next custom. Funny enough, we don't have an actual, official minifigure for this guy yet, so I think I'm gonna just start a trend for this character. You'll see here in a minute. Now, for the legs of this custom minifigure, well, the hips are from a Is it a mechanic? A motorcycle mechanic, biker guy from one of the CMF series blind bags. The left leg is just a plain black leg, and then the other leg comes from a Metamorpho minifigure from the Lego DC Series 1 blind bags. And yeah, you can probably guess who it's supposed to be. The torso comes from a Monster Fighters character. The torso also has appeared in a bunch of city sets. I got mine from a Lego city set. So pop that on with a plain white arm with a light nougat hand attached, as well as a light sandish tan brown arm with a dark, like burnt color brown. And then for the head of this custom minifigure, the head comes from a I think it's a Jurassic World, like a rogue guard or agent. And then the hair comes from a Black Panther T'Challa minifigure. And that is the finished character. You could probably guess who that is, but I'm not really gonna tell anybody. For his accessory, you're gonna grab a shovel. You gotta like flip it the right way. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be hard. Okay, pump that right into the hand. And yeah, there we go. There is the finished custom. Now, if you have guessed the character's name, I hate when it starts raining. Anyway, if you guessed the character's name already, I would suggest popping it down in the comments below. And if you guessed correctly, you will be you will get a shout out in my next video, as well as you will get to appear on one of my next gaming streams. So, yeah. Thanks. Anyway, for the next minifigure of this custom video, the custom minifigure video, whatever, we have Superman. Now for the legs of this custom minifigure, well, I mean, the left leg comes from the same Metamorpho minifigure that I used for the character previous. So if you haven't seen that and you already skipped that part, rewind, go back and look at that. Yeah, and the hip piece and right leg come from a Thanos minifigure from, I believe, the Thanos mech set. The torso comes from a Man of Steel Superman set with the arm and hand from the same minifigure, and a trans clear light blue arm with a light nougat hand attached. You can't forget about the cape, of course. The head comes from the same Man of Steel minifigure. Pop that on. Except the head is reversed to show the laser eye expression on his face. For the hair, you're gonna grab it from I got mine from a Brick Boy, but you could get it almost anywhere. You could get it from like the Drifter Bruce Wayne minifigure from the Batman 2022 movie Lego sets, etc., and so on and so forth. Anyway, that is Superman. That's it for those customs. Let's show off a Marvel custom next. So, for this custom minifigure, I've got to take him apart. The legs are just some plain black legs. You'll grab the torso from the 2012 Hawkeye minifigure with a black arm and black hand attached, as well as a light nougat arm and another black hand attached. Now, before you put on the head, don't forget to add the quiver from the newer Hawkeye. Remember, I used the same head because I did get a duplicate for my Batman minifigure. Anyway, you're gonna put it on the happy smirk expression. And then the hair is from the same Hawkeye minifigure. And, yeah, there you have it. Anyway, for his accessory, I mean, I guess you could count the neck piece as an accessory. He has the bow and arrow from the same Hawkeye minifigure. And that's pretty much it for this custom. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on to the second to last minifigure. This one isn't a purist custom, so it requires you to get like different like building interlocking plastic brick sets, as well as some Lego pieces, but you have to paint them. Anyway, the legs of this custom minifigure are just some plain blue legs that I found lying around, and I painted on some boots. I mean, it's not the most perfect job I've done, but it works. The torso is from a builder, like a handyman minifigure, or a woodworker, I guess, with some red arms and some white hands attached, as well as some red paint on that, and I used black Sharpie for the buttons on the overalls. Pop the torso onto the legs. Now, for the cape, you're gonna grab it from a Jedi minifigure of your choice. There's a lot of brown capes that belong to Jedi minifigures from Star Wars. Anyway, I want you to cut it up and kind of make it look like it's tattered. And now that it's tattered, I want you to fold it over onto the neck. And then for the head, this isn't a Lego piece. You may have seen Red Suit Studs videos on how to make like Lego Pokemon figures. he uses, I believe, mega constructs or like mega blocks pieces that are similar to Lego but not quite Lego. I used the opposite of both brands. I used the K'NEX Mario head, right? And then I took the, because originally there was a neck right there. I chopped that off, and we used a drill bit to drill a hole into the head, and so now you'll grab your body that you made for him and pop on the Mario K'NEX head, and that's my custom Super Mario minifigure. Anyway, for the last custom, like the final custom of today's video, this guy is kind of random. I don't have a name for him yet. But he uses several different parts, including a part from a character that I've already used for 2 different customs in this video. If you can spot both customs, I will give you a shout out and I will subscribe to your YouTube channel. So pop your guesses on what like piece it is, like what like body part it is, and if you guess correctly, I will do the things that I said I would do earlier. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, the legs are from a War Machine minifigure, excuse me, from the, trying to remember, the War Machine mech set. The torso is from a the Mandalorian minifigure, with a left black arm with a black hand attached, as well as a, you might have guessed it already, a Metamorpho minifigure arm. It's the right arm, so it's his orange scaly arm. Anyway, you're gonna pop those 2 pieces together. This is what it looks like. So this is what it looks like so far. That's the back of the torso. Now you're gonna grab the head from the same Batman minifigure that I showed earlier, that the Kewl belongs to. I got him in a I believe it's 2022 or 2024 Batman mech set. And you're gonna switch the expression on the head to the angry side. And then grab this helmet from the Gamerverse Iron Man from those sets, and then pop it onto the minifigure. And there you have it. There's that character. I don't know what to call him yet. So if y'all have any suggestions for me, pop them down in the comments below. Excuse me. I've been Kozy-Krew. Y'all have been the wonderfully amazing, also crazy with a K, Kozy-Krew. And this is Kozy-Krew signing out. Peace.